I like to think of myself as a little bit more on the masculine side. I'm very much mask for mask. Yeah. Nah, chill, bro, chill. I ain't on that gay shit for real, man. Oh my god. Ew. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm a top. Yeah, I'm a top. Yeah. Like, dude, man, like I'm like totally not gay. I only kissed Connor on the dare. Like, that's all it was. I promise you, that's all it was, man. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, I got this fine little joint I'm trying to talk to, man. But yo, she making it mad difficult, bro. She making it mad difficult. Come here, come holler at me real quick. I don't know why every time I turn on this camera, I got to get on here and just play all day. That's all I do is play all day. Listen, I haven't had to try to act straight or be hyper masculine in I don't even know how long. That's not me. I don't live that lifestyle no more. So masculinity. This is nothing new. It seems that masculinity in society has always been this standard. It's always been this bar or this box that we check off from a young age. Anything feminine is not cool. Boys don't play with Barbies. Boys don't show emotions. Boys are tough. We're fighters. We're riders. And at the end of the day, boys will be boys. But at the same time, I think we're moving in a more progressive direction. I mean, we've seen it since the days of Prince, where he was always pushing the gender binary with his fashion choices. Look at it with Young Thug's album cover for Jeffrey in 2016, wearing a dress. Even more recently, we've seen with artists like Drake as he pouts and poses on Instagram with the duck lips. How he does his hair. Lil Uzi Vert using they them pronouns, perming their hair, painting their fingernails. And most recently, the rapper Logic, dancing on stage, imitating Ice Spice. Which is why it's all the more crazy to me that you lot are still pressing people out about their sexualities, pressing people out about whether they're straight or not, based on what they do and how they express themselves, because they don't conform to society's gender norms and gender rules. It's draining, to say the least. Now, if you're not new to my channel, you'll know this is not my first time taking on these type of conversations. I think most prominently with one of my most popular videos here on the channel, top versus bottom, top privilege, bottom shaming, masculinity versus femininity. That was a long ass title. But in that video, which really set the precedent for a lot of my other videos to follow here on the channel, we kind of made pass at these conversations where not all men are the same, and for some, masculinity is set up to be the standard or the bar to achieve within society. And if you don't meet those standards, or if you don't fall into those gender norms, your sexuality is usually questioned. You're usually on the receiving end of femphobia, misogyny, internalized homophobia, toxic masculinity, hypermasculinity. Like, the list could go on, and I could go on. But I think it's most interesting when people have to come out and defend their own sexuality because they don't conform to what society or the general public says how they should be and how they should act. Like, take Tyler James Williams from Everybody Hates Chris and Abbott Elementary. He basically had to come out and say that, no, I'm not gay, so stop asking me. Like, he really had to prove himself or really dispel the naysayers who swore up and down that he was gay.
And in dispelling these online rumors, he took to Instagram to state that overanalyzing someone's behavior in an attempt to catch them directly contributes to the anxiety a lot of queer and queer questioning people feel when they fear living in the truth. Now, he's not wrong, and I have thoughts on this, but we gonna get there.
And it's really interesting to me when the idea of masculinity is rooted in heteronormativity and it crosses paths or intersects with the gay community and LGBT. Because for a lot of us, we're a community about acceptance and pride and being yourself and being true to who you are. And I think it's most telling actually when the traditional heteronormative ideas of how a man should act crosses paths or intersects with the LGBT community, specifically the gay community. Because if we're gonna keep it real, to be a masculine gay man is to be a little bit more desirable to the gay male community. You're often seen as the man's man or a representation of the ideal. You fulfill their fantasies or their fetishes. To the straight general public, you're also a little bit more palatable because you're straight passing. You also generally aren't met with acts of discomfort because, again, you're straight passing. And you're also a little less likely to be targeted in a hate crime or caught slurs on the street because, again, babe, you're straight passing. Before y'all start on me, because I know some of y'all like to tussle in these little YouTube streets, I'm not saying that just because you're a masculine man that you can't be a victim of a hate crime or cause slurs on the street. I'm just saying, look at it from the perspective of people or individuals who don't fit into these gender norms, gender boxes, or follow society's heteronormative gender rules. Because if we're being honest, this idea of the man's man normally acts as a shield for DL men to project to others that they're this hyper-masculine, machismo sort of dude. And with that, oftentimes comes hyper-masculinity. So if you're typically more into traditional masculine things, like you're into fixing up cars, you're a handyman, you play sports, you're into video games, you're a professional football player or something, normally other gay guys are more likely to be into you, if not more so, because you're into those activities, and they really won't think twice about it. However, if you were to wear makeup or wear skirts and pearls, like to put on wigs and have a more androgynous look, for the most part, based on preferences and from my observations and experiences, mask for mask, other guys probably won't give you as much of the time of day as they would a traditionally masculine man, or someone who's a little bit more in the middle, if you should say. Now, whether that measures up to just internalized homophobia, preferences, femphobia, from within our community but also outside of it, that's up for debate. It could be preferences, but we all know how some of your preferences are used to spread hate and bigotry. And to be honest, I think the most recent and perfect example for this would be the tragic killing of Oshae Sibley. If you're not familiar, I'll catch you up to speed real quick. So Oshae Sibley was a 28-year-old gay man, prominent dancer, and a member of the New York ballroom scene who was out with his friends at a gas station just dancing and voguing to Beyonce's Renaissance. Now, an album, mind you, that fully embraces the ballroom scene. It celebrates flamboyance, femininity, self-expression, self-acceptance, joy. So imagine how infuriating it is to have a black man, a gay black man, voguing at the gas station and be called slurs on the street, be called slurs at the gas pump. Racial slurs and homophobic slurs that ultimately led to an altercation that ended up in Oshae's passing. Now, when I heard this story, it really was it was bothersome, because I feel like that could have been any of us. And when I say any of us, I mean like my mutuals or peers who are gay and black and aren't the typical masculine men. Like, voguing, it comes from the New York ballroom scene. So for you to lose your life just because you're having fun and just dancing and minding your business while you're going to get gas, coming after a party, and you lose your life over that, I feel like it's one of the latest, but it won't be the last, acts of hate coming from the greater society. And to be honest, I really wanted to point that out in this video because I feel like it's very important to call out and really bring to attention when incidents like these happen. Because at the end of the day, hate is going to continue to exist, but it's a lot harder on gay men that can't just simply pass within the general public. And this isn't something that's only relegated to the gay community. We also see it outside in the straight community also, because even straight men are criticized for having a small dog or showing boys love, like, yeah, I love you, man, hugging your friend, showing emotions, crying, and smoking hookah, apparently.
If you as a man, you don't need to be smoking a hookah, baby gal. You need to be rolling you up a wood. You need to be smoking you some za. Okay? You don't need to be sucking down a hookah, baddie. Unless you was a gay, unless you gay, like a gay boy. That's the only reason. That's the only way I'm letting you smoke hookah. If you not no gay boy, you a man. Put the hookah down.
But with these rigid rules of how a man should act and how he should express himself is why we have hypermasculinity, toxic masculinity, and performative masculinity within our community. Which brings me into hypermasculinity. I think the negative connotations with being gay or bi is a reason why a lot of gay, bisexual, or DL men don't choose to come out. Because if you're a bisexual man and you've slept with or messed around with another man, chances are most women aren't gonna really want to mess with you. Because for some reason it's almost like it makes you less of a man. Some women have this biphobic or homophobic tendencies where they don't want a man that has messed with a man before. It's like, oh, you've messed with a man, you slept with a man? It's like, oh, you're gay. And that's something that's even been presented on Issa Rae's Insecure, where Molly was dating this guy who admitted to her that he messed around with a guy before, and immediately Molly was just like, I had to cut it off. Like, I couldn't do it. Even Amanda Seal's character Tiffany was like, no, if he slept with a man, babe, he's gay.
So your journey.
I mean, we had a real honest conversation.
My friend and I were at this party in New York. Went back to his place and, you know.
Sweetie, you can't keep dating him. He's gay.
Which, to be honest, is the mindset of a lot of women and a lot of people in society. There was even this TikTok podcast I've seen once where women were asked would they rather be cheated on or find out that their man is bisexual. And the comments, girl, the comments were a little filthy. So trigger warning.
Would you rather find out your man is cheating or your man is bisexual?
What the
Is he bisexual and cheating or just bisexual?
Ooh, cheating. Ooh, cheating.
That my man is cheating.
That my man is a cheater.
The bisexual.
Probably that he's bisexual.
I'd rather find out that he's bisexual.
I'd rather find out he's cheating. I'd rather find out he's cheating, I ain't gonna lie.
I would rather find out that he's cheating.
I'd rather find out that he's cheating so I can whoop his
I mean, bisexual maybe. I don't with that cheating. I'm gonna say bisexual, because if you've been cheated on, you just know. You know what I'm saying? That feeling in your chest. That is not cool.
I could get over cheating, and I have.
I can handle the cheating, not bisexual.
I don't think I could handle the second one.
Cheat on me. Don't be gay, though.
I mean, I want to know my cheating, but I would rather know if my bisexual, because I mean, he with on the low.
That's not for me. That's not. I'm not about to put a strap on. And that might not even be your desire, but
I mean, if he's bisexual, I don't care.
Ain't nothing wrong with being bisexual, but I don't want my partner to be.
if you out here sucking dicks, like, I can't. Where are we going from here?
Probably cheating, because I don't want to know that you play with penises.
Like, I don't want my to be
I can't be competing with
bisexual, because we can still get busy together.
But to me, there's no place worse where toxic masculinity and hypermasculinity or femphobia exist than in the LGBT community. So, DL man. DL is a term that originated in the black community that is used to describe a man who identifies as straight but actively pursues sexual relations or romantic relations with other men. Also known as trade if they're hypermasculine. So think of Little Murda from P-Valley, Wade from Noah's Ark, and if you a real one, Cal from the LA complex.
You gave me something to write about. Thank you for that. You know, I was thinking, when I go on tour later this year, I want to bring you with me. I want to build a photo album like those old folks had. Build a life. Just us.
Hey, Cal.
What the hell are you doing?
Please don't. Cal, don't, please.
Cal! Ah! You look... Faggot! Faggot! Get off of me! Get off of me! Get off of me! Get off of me!
For a lot of DL men and gay men that suffer from internalized homophobia, there's often a shield of masculinity that's put up to protect themselves from the scrutiny of being gay, while also simultaneously giving the impression to the general public and everybody else that they're straight. It's kind of like a dual facade thing, right? With that facade comes acts of hypermasculinity. They won't partake in anything deemed feminine because that's like telling on themselves. Plus, when you're not really comfortable with your sexuality, you're not really gonna do things that will draw attention to it or have people question it. But you know what's actually interesting to me? The fact that the LGBT community comes together and that we celebrate, you know, people just being themselves, being true to who you are. But for the most part, there seems to be this fetishization that comes with, you know, chasing straight men or, you know, lusting after the trade. And I think that was proven in one of my older videos. Is it okay for gay men to be attracted to straight men? And when I tell you, them comments, baby, I'm just gonna say it tracks. From my observations, y'all like the idea of a straight man, even though a straight man is straight. So why are you pursuing someone who's just realistically not into you?
Because I can't date a gay guy.
What?
Openly gay. Yeah, because like...
So how you gonna get married?
He's gonna be a guy who was with women and then decide to say, hey, I just wanna be with you. So that means he ain't never did that with no boy before.
To me, it's a different type of masculinity. There's different types of energies. Like when I'm around gay men, it's like they're yeah, boom, boom, boom. But when I'm around my dudes who are on like Gresham Road, West End Mall, it's like I'm like it's a different.
You just like hood niggas.
No, but it's a different vibe. Even though you're masculine and all you hang out with is gay people, you're gonna pick up certain tendencies that you may not notice. You know what I'm saying? So if a straight man has never hung out with like gay people, he's not gonna have those little small tendencies and lingos. And it's just certain things that's just my preference that turns me off.
Got you.
Need I say more? I mean, I don't know. It's getting fetishization. I'm just saying. But unfortunately, Zoe isn't the only person that thinks this way. It's really common within our community that where masculine seems to be the spectacle or this mode of desire for a lot of gay men. But we already discussed that in that video, so we're not gonna get into that again here. It's like if you're a top that's bottom before. I've heard stories that if your top is bottom, you're instantly like, oh no, I don't want you. I want a strict top, strict masculine dude who hasn't like bent over for anybody else. And it's like once some gay guys find out that their top has bottom, it will quickly turn into like, oh, so you're doing the bending? Because for a lot of gay men, being the top is the more masculine or more dominant role. So whereas being the bottom is more of like being the woman, you're the deceiver, you're more submissive. And I feel like that is just so heteronormative. I've said this before on the channel. In a gay relationship, there is no woman. So I hate gay men that are like, oh, yeah, well, you know, I'm the gay in the relationship because I'm the bottom. Girl, please. But I think the desire and the fantasy of having a masculine man and thirsting after trade is where hypermasculinity is born within the gay community. From my perspective, and if you have a different perspective, you know, you can always drop it in the comment section down below. But from my perspective, it seems to be like why a lot of gay men suffer from internalized homophobia or even femphobia. It's why we have things like mask for mask on these apps like Jacked and Grindr and Tinder, right? Because masculinity is so desired that it's what other guys are looking for. It's a preference, you know, it's like I'm attracted to men, so obviously I want a man. But it's like, how often do you see mask for femme? Like, let's be real. Or femme for femme. Because I don't see that presented on the apps. Just saying. It's like, damn, it's like, okay, you're mask for mask. Why don't you just iron that on a big ass t-shirt? Tattoo on your forehead, let everybody in the fucking world know, right? Yeah. It's why we have things like, I'm gay, but I'm not gay. Like, bitch, what the? Like, girl, what? Like, what does that even mean? What? Or my favorite, I'm just a masculine gay guy, you know. I'm not really into the scene, dude. I just can't relate to other gay dudes, you know. It's like, really, not a single one. There's not one gay person you can relate to, not one gay person that you can be friends with, because we're not all a monolith. We're not all the same. So that's a big generalization to just throw out there. But okay, we can't forget the ones that's like, oh nah, dude, don't call me girl. I ain't no girl, bro. It's like, okay, I'll respect you. I'm not gonna call you a girl. But when I say girl, I'm not actually calling you a girl. That's like when I say child. A child bye. Or child please. I'm not actually calling you a child. But I'm gonna respect you. You got it. It's like masculinity is the peak of desirability politics within the gay community. It's what so much people are after, that if you're more of a feminine person, you're gonna be the one that's gonna receive femphobia. It's gonna be like, oh, well no, I'm not into queens or butch queens, or oh, you bottom before, babe, we can't talk no more. Like, please, girl, please. Like, are you really threatened by what someone has done before you? They can't have bottom before, you're obviously just gonna be disinterested. Child, please, I'm not. But I think with all this, that's also why we have performative masculinity within the gay community. Having to dress a certain way, or present yourself in a certain way, or pose online like you're the trade. Going to the gym not for a better body, but to appeal to the mask for mask gays. The gays are into more masculine physiques. Please. Like, to me personally, it's not worth it. You find yourself having to play up your masculinity and act as if you don't really have a feminine side to yourself just to appease others. It's just gonna be a waste of time, especially when the persona that you're trying to put up starts to crack. That's like finding out the guy that you're into is into sports and video games, and you don't know nothing about no Mortal Kombat, girl. You don't know nothing about no damn flag football, no damn golf, baseball. You don't know what a touchdown is, and he want to take you to a football game, and you don't know, even though you lying because you like him and you never really did before. It's gonna be like, girl, like, it was a lie. It was all a lie. The cracks are gonna start to show. So that's why I always say, just be yourself. If you're a more feminine dude, just be yourself. If you're into makeup, be into makeup. If you're a more masculine guy, be a masculine guy. This isn't a video to bash masculinity. It's just to point out the fact that masculinity is the standard. It's the standard that not everybody fits into. Not everyone's gonna check off this every single box. And I just wish that we'd sit back and actually ask ourselves why Why am I just into this? Why can't I relate to guys that are more into the gay scene, as some gay guys say? Why is it that for straight people that if your dude is bisexual or if he has any sort of feminine traits or qualities, he's automatically written off? I just feel like with things like mask for mask plaguing the apps, no fats, no blacks, no femmes, no Asian, with performative masculinity running rampant within our community, it's just interesting for a community that prides itself on being ourselves, being authentic, being true to who you are. There's so many boxes that if you don't fit into, you're gonna be judged. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that at all. A lot of us have similar stories, and for us to kind of put each other down or to make it seem as if, you know, masculinity is the ideal, it's the standard, it's the fantasy for a lot of gay men and for a lot of straight women as well, it's tiresome. Let men be men, but let them be men in all aspects. Whether that's entertaining the more feminine side of their personalities and personas, or just being hyper masculine as they are. But as long as you're not perpetuating toxic masculinity, because that we don't do. We don't do that, girl. We don't know her. So hopefully this video woke up some bigger conversations that need to be had within our community and outside of it, because this is a heavy one, because this topic is a lot bigger than me. To be honest, I try to tackle it from an array of different angles. Of course, if you have anything to add to the conversation, definitely drop a comment down below, because I would love to hear your own experiences, observations, or lessons that you've learned. But as always, if you like what you see and want to see more of me, definitely subscribe. But until then, I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye!